Pronominal suffixes on Yaish and Ain. Now we turn to a couple modules on pronominal suffixes. We've seen pronominal suffixes on many forms, and now we have a few more. These are not critical at this point for you to memorize in terms of being able to reproduce the detail. I would just learn them in order to be able to recognize them. I think it's important when you first encounter Hebrew, like your first year of Hebrew, that you spend your memorizing time on the right things, and other things will come as you read and come as you just sort of see them through exposure. So here we have Yaish and Ain. Now we've seen these before. Yaish means there is or there are, and Ain is a yud and a final nun. Ain means the opposite. There is not or there are not. There is, there are. There is not, there are not. So the particle of existence and the negative particle of existence, or the particle of non-existence. We saw this in chapter 13. Now these forms can both take pronominal suffixes. This one here, Yaish, is used almost exclusively in a particular construct where you have im, which means with or if, and then you'll have Yaish with its pronominal suffix on it, and the rest of the sentence. If something, 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 then something else. So the beginning of an if-then clause. That's where you find Yaish with the pronominal suffix. So there aren't too many of those, but there are more of these. Ain with the pronominal suffix on it. So let's look at the paradigms, and then we'll look at some examples. Here are the two paradigms. Split them up here. So we have Yaish over here, and we have Ain over here. Now you notice right away that there's only three forms here. That's because these are the only three attested forms in the Hebrew Bible. So we don't have many of these, and I don't think they're used that frequently. Over here with Ain we have more. But just to look at them anyway, first thing we notice here is that the tzere is reduced. We have segol instead of tzere, if you can see the little tzere there. So we have yeshno. The nun, I'm not sure where that comes from, but the o we recognize as a 3ms suffix. Yeshno. Yesh-ha. So that's pretty straightforward. Just add the ha. And yeshchem. Again, just add the chem. No big deal. Over here with Ain, we have einenu, einena, einecha. Now, why am I pronouncing this shava? See this shava here? I'm saying einecha. Over here, I said yeshcha. I didn't say yeshecha. I think I'm correct in pronouncing this shava as vocal because this is a long vowel. So our syllable is going to split right here. So we have 3 syllables. Einecha. This one is short. Segol is short, and so we have a CVC short CVC syllable with a short vowel in it, right? Closed syllable. Yesh-ha. So this is the silent shava closing the syllable. Anyway, I think I'm correct in reading this as a vocal shava. Einecha, einech, eineni, einam, einechem, einenu. Now, one thing to note with this is that these two forms I haven't read here, are the same. Einenu and einenu. And this is similar to what we have with mimenu. If you remember from chapter 21, min with the pronominal suffix came up with the same ambiguity between 3ms and 1 CP. So we have a similar thing here. And the forms seem to be similar to me anyway. We have these dagashes here, these dagashim, and the final nuns, some of them here. It seems like the paradigm is similar. But again, this is not a paradigm I would memorize. Just recognize it. What else did I want to say? Oh, I guess we should translate some of these. This here, these tend to be used as a subject, at least from what I can tell in the examples. So this would be he is not, or he was not. And this would be we are not, or we were not. This would be I am not, etc. you are not, she is not, you feminine are not, they are not, something like that. Okay, let's look at 3 examples. We'll look at 1 with Yaish, and we'll look at 2 with Ain. So here's the example with Yaish, and to read it here, we have Im Yeshchem Shomrim et HaTorah. So it starts with Im, meaning if, which is where I said you find Yaish with its pronominal suffixes. If you can translate this simply as you plural. If you keep, this is a participle, masculine plural, if you keep the Torah, and then presumably this would go on, then something, 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 right? So here we see Yaish with its pronominal suffix together with Im, and you simply translate it as you. Just simple translation. If you keep the Torah. Here's an example with Ain. Hanavi einenu fo. Now, einenu is that ambiguous form, right? It could be 3ms or 1CP. But here we know it's 3ms because Hanavi is 3ms. The prophet is not here. If we didn't have the prophet, it could be he is not here. So he, the subject is from here. He is not here. Or it could be we are not here. But given that we have the subject already explicitly stated, we know it's he. He, which he? Well, the prophet. The prophet is not here. And then we have this one, einenu oved. Now actually I did a typo here. This is supposed to be eineni oved. But let's first translate the typo and then I'll write it the other way. Einenu oved means we are not serving or he is not serving. So this one is ambiguous because we don't have an explicit subject. We don't have the prophet or something. So he is not serving or we are not serving. Now what I was supposed to write was eineni. So this part's all the same, and instead of a new ending, we have a nun with a dagash in it and e. So eineni, and then of course we have this part I got right, oved. So this would be I am not serving, or I was not serving. The tense here is going to have to come from your context. So again, here's our paradigms. This is what they look like. Yaish is used with im usually, and we have more forms of ain with a pronominal suffix, and it occurs more frequently in different contexts. And don't forget that einenu and einenu can mean he is not or we are not.